English podcast and dictation. Listen beyond the words.
Before you start, don't forget to download the practice files from the video description. Next, listen to the podcast once without taking notes. Focus on understanding the conversation and the main ideas. Then, replay the audio and write down exactly what you hear. Good luck and enjoy today's practice.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to English Podcast and Dictation. I'm Emma.
And I'm Alex. We're really glad you could join us today for another episode focused on real English conversation.
Absolutely, Alex. Today, we're diving into a topic that touches everyone's life, whether we realize it or not. We're going to talk about how technology has changed the way we spend our free time.
It's a huge topic, Emma, and I think it's one we can all relate to. When I think about my free time now compared to, say, 15 or 20 years ago, it's almost unrecognizable.
Right? It's wild to think about. I mean, back then, if you wanted to relax, maybe you'd read a book, watch some TV, listen to music on a CD player, or go outside. Now, the options are almost endless, and almost all of them involve a screen.
Exactly. The most obvious change, I think, is how we consume entertainment. Before, you'd wait for your favorite show to air on TV at a specific time, or you'd rent a movie from a video store. Now, with streaming services, it's all on demand. On demand. That's the key phrase, isn't it? You can watch anything, anytime, anywhere. It's incredibly convenient. I remember planning my evenings around specific TV shows. Now, I just open an app and choose. And it's not just TV and movies. Think about music. I used to buy albums, physical CDs. Now I have access to millions of songs on my phone, instantly. It's a completely different experience.
It really is. And it's not just about access. It's about personalization, too. Streaming services learn what you like and suggest new things. It's like having a personal curator for your entertainment.
That's true, but sometimes I wonder if having too many options makes it harder to choose. I often spend more time scrolling through options than actually watching something.
Oh, absolutely. The paradox of choice. I've definitely fallen into that trap. You want to pick the perfect thing, and then suddenly an hour has passed and you've watched nothing.
Exactly. And then there's social media. That's a massive part of many people's free time now. Connecting with friends, seeing what everyone's up to, sharing your own life.
It's a double-edged sword, isn't it? On one hand, it keeps us connected with people far away, and it's great for sharing moments. On the other hand, it can be a huge time sink.
Definitely a time sink. I find myself mindlessly scrolling sometimes, just looking at pictures and short videos, and then I realize I could have been doing something more productive or relaxing.
Me too. And the comparison trap. It's so easy to see everyone's highlight reels and feel like your own free time isn't as exciting or fulfilling. It can sometimes make you feel worse rather than better. That's a really important point, Emma. It creates this pressure to always be doing something Instagrammable with your free time, instead of just enjoying quiet moments. Yes, exactly. It changes the nature of relaxation. Instead of just being, you're constantly thinking about documenting or sharing. It adds a layer of performance to something that should be private and personal.
And what about gaming? That's another area where technology has completely transformed free time. From simple console games to complex online multiplayer worlds.
Oh, online gaming is massive. People spend hours, even days in these virtual worlds. It's a whole community for some, a way to connect with friends and achieve things together virtually.
I've never been a huge gamer myself, but I have friends who are really into it. They talk about it like it's a second life. The graphics, the storytelling, the interaction with other players, it's a very immersive experience.
It is. And for many, it's a great way to unwind and de-stress. But like anything, it can also become a bit too much, taking away from other aspects of life.
True. So we've talked about entertainment, social media, and gaming. What about hobbies and learning? Has technology changed how we pursue those in our free time?
Absolutely. Think about online courses. You can learn almost anything now from your living room. A new language, how to play an instrument, coding, cooking. The possibilities are endless.
That's a huge positive. Before, if you wanted to learn something new, you had to find a local class, which might not always be available or fit your schedule. Now, you have global access to education.
Exactly. And often at a much lower cost, or even free. I've taken a few online courses myself, just for fun, to explore new interests during my weekends. It's a very enriching way to spend free time.
Me too. I learned how to do some basic video editing through online tutorials. It was something I never thought I'd get into, but technology made it accessible and enjoyable.
And creative apps. People are making art, music, writing, designing, all on their phone or tablets. It's democratized creativity, allowing more people to explore their artistic side without expensive equipment.
That's a great point. You don't need a huge studio or fancy instruments to make music anymore. Anyone with a smartphone can start experimenting.
So, on the positive side, technology has given us incredible convenience, vast options for entertainment and learning, and new ways to connect and create. But we've also touched on some downsides, like the paradox of choice and the comparison trap on social media.
Yeah, and another thing I've noticed is how technology has blurred the lines between work and free time. Because we're always connected, it's harder to truly switch off.
Oh, that's a big one. Even when you're technically off work, you might be checking emails on your phone or thinking about a project because your work notifications are always there.
Exactly. That little ding from an email or a work message can instantly pull you out of your relaxed state. It makes it harder to fully immerse yourself in your free time activities.
It really does. I sometimes feel like I need to actively fight against the urge to check work things, even on a Sunday afternoon. It takes conscious effort to put the phone away and just be present.
And then there's the physical aspect. Are we spending too much of our free time sitting down, looking at screens, instead of being active outdoors?
That's a valid concern. I think for many, the answer is probably yes. It's so easy to fall into the habit of binge watching a show or playing games for hours. And before you know it, the day is gone and you haven't moved much. I try to balance it. If I spend an hour watching a show, I'll try to make sure I go for a walk afterwards or do something active. But it requires discipline.
It definitely does. It's almost like we need to schedule non-tech free time. Like from 6 to 7 p.m., no screens. Just a book or a walk.
That's a good idea. A digital detox? Even a small one. Because I think the human brain wasn't really designed to be constantly bombarded with information and notifications.
No, it wasn't. Our attention spans are getting shorter, and we're always seeking that next little dopamine hit from a notification or a new piece of content.
It makes me think about hypothetical scenarios. What if we had a day, say once a month, where all personal technology was just turned off? No phones, no internet, no smart TVs?
Oh, that's an interesting thought. I think initially there would be a lot of panic and boredom for some people. But then maybe a lot of creativity and reconnection would happen.
I imagine people would start talking to each other more, playing board games, going for long walks, rediscovering old hobbies. It would be a huge shift.
It would. And it would probably highlight how much we rely on technology for even simple things, like finding directions or checking the weather. Our lives are so integrated with it now.
Absolutely. But perhaps it would also remind us that there's a world beyond the screen, and that real-life experiences can be just as, if not more, fulfilling.
Fulfilling. That's a great word to use here. Because sometimes the endless scrolling and passive consumption of content doesn't feel truly fulfilling. It's entertaining, but but it doesn't always leave you with a sense of accomplishment or deep satisfaction.
Exactly. There's a difference between being entertained and being deeply engaged or satisfied. Reading a good book, having a meaningful conversation, creating something with your hands, those often provide a different kind of satisfaction.
And technology can actually facilitate those things too, if used intentionally. For example, using a video call to have a deep conversation with a friend who lives far away, or using an app to find a local hiking trail.
That's true. It's not inherently good or bad, it's how we use it, like any tool.
Exactly. It's about being mindful. Are we choosing to use technology, or is technology choosing how we spend our time?
That's a profound question, Emma. I think for many, it's the latter without them even realizing it. The algorithms are so good at keeping us engaged.
They really are. It's designed to be addictive. So it takes conscious effort to break free from that cycle sometimes. To say, no, I'm going to put my phone down and do something else. So what are some practical examples of how people can strike a better balance? Beyond just turning off the phone, which can feel a bit extreme for some. Good question. One thing I try to do is designate certain tech-free zones or times. For example, no phones at the dinner table, or no screens in the bedroom an hour before sleep.
That's a good start. The bedroom rule is especially important for sleep quality, I think. The blue light from screens can really mess with your sleep cycle.
It totally can. Another thing is to be intentional about what you're doing online. If you're going to use social media, maybe set a timer or decide beforehand what you want to look at instead of just opening the app and letting it take you wherever.
That's smart. Having a purpose when you go online, rather than just aimlessly browsing. That way, you're using the tool, not being used by it.
Exactly. And actively seeking out technology that supports your well-being or your hobbies. Instead of just passive consumption, think about active creation or learning.
Like using an app to learn a new language, or watching a tutorial to bake a cake, or connecting with a virtual book club. Those are all active uses of technology for free time.
Yes, exactly. Or even using fitness trackers to motivate you to be more active. Technology can be a great enabler for healthier habits if we steer it in the right direction.
So it comes down to control, really. Taking control of your digital life instead of letting it control you.
I think so. It's a constant process, though. It's not like you make one decision and then you're perfectly balanced forever. The tech landscape is always changing, and we have to adapt and reevaluate our habits.
That's true. New apps, new platforms, new ways to get distracted. It's an ongoing challenge.
But it's an important one, because our free time is precious. It's when we recharge, pursue our passions, and connect with the people who matter most.
And if technology starts to detract from that, then it's time to make some adjustments. It's about enhancing life, not replacing it.
Exactly. So for our listeners, we'd love to hear how technology has changed your free time. Are there specific apps or platforms you love, or habits you've tried to change?
Yeah, share your experiences with us. Maybe you found a great way to use technology for a hobby, or you've managed to cut down on screen time effectively. Your tips could help others.
It's all about finding what works for you. There's no one-size-fits-all solution, but sharing ideas can be really helpful.
Indeed. So, to recap, technology has brought immense convenience and opportunities to our free time, from on-demand entertainment to global learning. But it also presents challenges like digital distraction, the comparison trap, and blurring work-life boundaries.
And the key is intentionality and balance. To use technology as a tool to enrich our lives, rather than letting it passively consume our precious free hours.
Well said, Emma. This has been a really thought-provoking discussion.
It really has, Alex. It makes me want to go for a tech-free walk right after this.
Me too. Or maybe finally try that online cooking class I've been thinking about. Using tech for good.
Perfect. We hope this conversation has given our listeners some new perspectives and useful vocabulary to talk about this modern issue.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this practice, don't forget to like, subscribe, and explore more English listening lessons on our channel. See you in the next episode.